Most of the foreigner that comes here, when they look for a girl, they're going to cheap place where there are people who are really there to work for money. I don't know if I'm going to say, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say sex worker, or if I'm going to say like they're really working for money like any other country. I mean, when they come here, they don't try to go through the normal process like getting an apartment, staying there, live for a while, trying to know someone, you know, trying to date people, talk and stuff like that. Usually when they arrive, the first thing they look is where can I find some ladies, and then they're going to give them 1 or 2 addresses. And when they go there, what do you expect? Hello guys, how you doing? It's your homeboy Guy. I'm here in a temporary French place, if you can call it like that. Temporary French place, because it's a sort of a temporary market. I'll let you see. All around there.
Et par exemple, là, du coup, on a fait une vidéo, il n'y a pas trop marché. Bon, bah là.
There we go. So, all along that area, there are people just selling some French foods, you know. And I went here to get what is typically classic breakfast for some French guy. And since I've been colonized by French, this is also sort of classic breakfast for me. But aside of that, I really like it. It's not really like we don't see it everywhere in the Philippines, especially the good quality, right? Like some French croissant, especially pain au chocolat. So whenever I hear that there is a street here that are like showcasing some French stuff, I always run and have my breakfast. So today I went here and I got my pain au chocolat. I also got a classic croissant without any chocolate inside, without any chocolate inside. But I got pain au chocolat and also got the classic croissant with a coffee. So both are a bit good combination. In the middle of I think Paseo. Look at the back. So yeah, there are sometimes like that they block the road and then they let people enjoy some good food from different places of the world. Sometimes it can be Malaysian, sometimes it can be Spanish, sometimes it can be, I don't see often African food here. I haven't seen something African. Maybe that's the only one that I haven't seen here. And I hope for Africans who are listening to me right now and having a business here, you may think of having something similar here, or maybe, you know, collect yourself in one group and request to have the street also blocked for special African food in one weekend, like maybe Sunday or Saturday. It's not a channel for food, right? But anyway, why not? Sometime when there's an opportunity to talk about the food, especially when there is a special moment like this one, where you can have this street for, I think they are just open like this for just today and yesterday they were open, and probably they will move to another place, another area, and it's going to be another country is going to come here and then showcasing some specialty from the hometown. But anyway, this is not essentially why I was doing this video. One of the reasons why I was doing this video is just to talk a little bit about some cliche that sometimes make people pass, you know, or just miss their chance, if I can say it like that. Miss their chance, that's going to be the right term. There's a lot of cliche that sometimes I have here in the Philippines, and even before entering the Philippines, that sometimes push people to, I don't know if I'm going to say take a bad decision, but maybe not take the right decision, or at least based on their own judgment they didn't take the right decision because it was more on someone else's judgment. I'm going to quickly explain you why. I'm going to take you 2 examples. The first one is the cliche that you will often hear about women in the Philippines versus foreigner, like women here getting in relationship with the foreigner. And the second cliche that I'm going to give is like the overview that people have about Philippines from outside before entering the Philippines. So I'm going to start with the first one. No, the second one. What people think about the Philippines before coming in the Philippines. I'm giving you a story straight, because you know in this channel that's also what we're doing. We're giving a real story, right? We are saying things straight, real example. So I'm giving you one example from my end. A couple years ago when I was coming in the Philippines, you know, in Africa usually when you're about to do a big, like a long travel, you somehow have to say bye to everybody. And I was going here for basketball, so I already knew that I will not go home like maybe the next year, or at least I was coming here for at least 2 to 3 years, especially that I was coming for study. And as varsity I was already prepared to spend at least 3 years to 4 years. So what I did is I went through some of my auntie and then uncle and then, you know, relatives, even friends, and say bye to them. And you know, the first thing that was coming in their mind is like, why are you going to that country? It's a country that is hit by typhoon. It's a country that is, excuse me to say that, somehow poor. And even in basketball, there is no, they were like, there is no future in basketball. You cannot play basketball there. I mean, Asia is not known for basketball, so why are you going to Philippines for basketball? And you know, myself, when I decided to move here, I didn't do that much research about it. The only thing that was in my mind is I want to play basketball, and when there is an opportunity to play basketball, I will just jump to the opportunity. And I have that, if I can say, kuya back in Cameroon, that helped me put things together, and I decided to move here. And the only thing that I had in mind at that moment is that if I can play basketball, I will go, and later on I will figure it by myself, things there. But the passion of playing basketball was so high that I'm not going to say that I wasn't listening to what people around me was telling me, but I was too excited with the idea to, you know, go overseas and then try my luck there, you know, play in a different school, play with different people, and discover new skills, right? Not really new skills, but face new challenges. And I think a couple years after, it was a good choice. It was a good choice. When I look at myself right now, I think it was a good choice. But from outside, looking at the Philippines, even if you try to Google it, they will not really tell you that. They will just tell you that Philippines love a lot basketball. But in fact, if you come here in the Philippines and then you decide to really try to practice basketball, it's not just love of basketball, but there is also all infrastructure here that can really push you to reach the limit. That, I mean, to exceed the limit if you decide that you really want to play basketball. There is all infrastructure here for you. The second thing also was, when I arrived here, is people was telling me, no, you know, with the height that you have, it's going to be complicated for you. That's what I hear when I arrived, when I was already inside. Before coming here, they were saying that there's no basketball here. This country, you know, Asian doesn't play basketball and things like that. I went here and I realized that there's a lot of courts everywhere. Now when I was here in the Philippines, some of my friends started telling me that, okay, look at this guy, because myself, I think I'm 6'2", 6'3". So they start telling me that, look at all these guys, they are like 6'7", 6'10". You won't play basketball here because you're too short. And Filipino are not tall. For those who already went to the Philippines, Filipino are not tall. So they don't need short player. What they are looking for is tall guy. So if you are not at least 6'7", 6'8", you have zero chance to play basketball here in the Philippines. And really, when I went to some school here, I mean, I didn't do a lot of school because I just did 2 schools. And actually, when I went here and I look around, yes, it was really hard to see tall guy Filipino in some college here. It was, most of them was just short. So you could easily have that impression that the only thing that they're looking for was just for a tall guy. And there were also a lot of tall guys here who didn't even have a school by that time. By the moment that I was arriving in the Philippines, there was a lot of tall guys who didn't have any school. And they were still looking for a school. So they were telling me, okay, look at myself. If with all my height right now, I'm still looking for a school, how much more you? Because the only thing that they're looking here, that's what I was hearing from my fellow African who was here a couple years before me. Look at myself. If I don't have a school right now, that means they just look people tall. And then you're not even taller than me, so you have zero chance. Another cliche, that if I was just listening to what was said to me, I'll just decide to not take my chance and maybe start doing something else. I don't know, look for a job or anything else, but not basketball. And guess what? Long story short, long story short, I have spent 5 years in college, fully paid by my college. I have been captain in my college for 1 year where I was playing. For those who are really familiar with the Philippines, NCA and UAP are one of the top leagues in the Philippines here. And I have played NCA for 2 years, where I have been captain for 1 year. So this is pretty much And by the way, also to give you a little bit the context here, per team here in the Philippines, for those who did a little bit research about basketball, for per team here, we just need 1 foreigner per team. Well, actually they need 2, but 1 will be on the court at the time. So you guys cannot play 2 same time. So it's just 1 at a time on the court and 1 in the bench. And the school is just allowed to have 2. So you can imagine how the challenge was. I mean, the tryout and all the people who are trying to get that 2 spot available for foreigner, the rest are only for Filipino. And I was just 6'2". And I have here everything that I have here before coming to the Philippines and trying myself, my luck, right? And as I told you, I end up with 5-year college, fully paid, 2-year playing NCA, because actually the 2 first year out of the 5 year, it's like a residency where you need to spend 2 years in the college without playing. Regardless your skills, you need to spend first 2 years in the college, and then after the 2 year, you are eligible to play with the team A. So I spent 2 years playing with the team B, 2 years playing with the team A, and I was captain ball for my last year, I think. And I have also got my diploma from that university. All that because of basketball and because I moved into the Philippines. But at first, all of the things that I was saying, I mean, all these 2 things that I have mentioned, there's really no time where I got a lot of people saying things positive about it. It was more on, you cannot make it, you cannot do it because you have tried and you didn't make it, because we know someone who tried and he didn't make it. So maybe the first thing is, some people sometimes just share their fear to you, you know. They're just taking their fear and then they put it on you, or they visualize their fear in you and they want you to feel the same. So I'm not saying to anyone here that don't listen to people, right? But you know better than probably everyone what you want for yourself, and you know how confident you are that you can achieve something. So that's one of the cliches that sometimes I hear about the Philippines, and I want to say to a lot of people, if you decide to come here in the Philippines, do not listen too much about what you read on the internet, what people say. Come, check by yourself, try your luck. People have a different experience. You are not going to be the first foreigner living here in the Philippines. There are foreigners living here before you, and there are foreigners going to live here after you, right? So some have good experience, some have bad experience. Nothing said that you are not going to be the part of people having the good experience. So that brings me to the second cliche also that is very common. Actually, if you Google also, or you ask 2 or 3 foreigners, it's going to come straight on your face that, okay, if you go to Philippines, don't get in relationship with Filipina there, especially when you're getting serious. First of all, because you cannot divorce here, and then they are like materialist, if I can say it like that. I mean, looking for just money and stuff like that. That one I'm going to answer straightforward. I've been in a relationship with Filipina, and honestly, it's not really what people are always saying. My relationship end up because, like everyone, the relationship can go strong or it can end up regardless the person that you are with. So nothing related to material, and even by that time I didn't even have money. So I think if it was really about money, I don't even think that she will be dating me. So I was just student, I didn't really have money. So that's something that is already for me. Should learn to mention that. The second thing also is that most of the foreigner that comes here, when they look for a girl, they're going to cheap place where there are people who are really there to work for money. I don't know if I'm going to say, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say sex worker, or if I'm going to say like they're really working for money like any other country. I mean, when they come here, they don't try to go through the normal process like getting an apartment, staying there, live for a while, trying to know someone, you know, trying to date people, talk and stuff like that. Usually when they arrive, the first thing they look is, where can I find some ladies, and then they're going to give them 1 or 2 address. And when they go there, what do you expect? You're going to end up with some women that are there working at night and trying to go home with some money in the pocket and ready to tell you everything for you to feel like they want to get into a relationship with you. And when things go wrong, or when there is no more money, they want to leave, because at first you get the wrong one. I mean, you make a wrong choice, you go to the wrong place, you try to find the right girl at the wrong place. And there's no particularity with the Philippines. I mean, you go to Japan, the same thing. You go to China, it's the same thing. You go to Africa, it's the same thing. You go to Europe, it's the same thing. There are places where you go, if you want to look for just one night stand, then So one night stand, do not expect to have something durable. If you want to have something durable, and then you from there, that's where you want to pick up something durable, it's going to be difficult, because at first she even start talking to you because you put the money first. And a lot of foreigners are doing that. I talk with a lot that are just asking me, where can I find some, you know, some girl, and then they're already telling that I'm going to try to marry her. Like every places, there is a process. I mean, you can go to a library, you can go to a bar, you can go to, you know, it doesn't even mean that if you go to a library or to a bar or to a mall or to a nice places, you're not going to find someone who's going to, you know, disappoint you at a certain point. But it's not a specialty of Philippines. I mean, even in my place, I can even find a woman in the church, and then 2 months after, she leave me because I'm broke. Because she just doesn't want to deal with me if I'm broke. That's it. I found her in the church. You can find even in school, your classmate, you start growing up together, and then once you get a job, you guys are good, and at a certain point she gets used to it, and then once things are a bit challenging, she decides to give up. So there is no specialty about you know, about a certain country. It's just that you went out and then you get a partner, and at a certain point you guys split up for one reason or another reason. But the specific people who are just saying that this girl was just looking for money, where did you meet her first? How did you meet her? What did you showcase first when you met her? Because personally, again, I said, I know the tons of guys who's just coming here, they go straight to some street in Makati or to Angeles, because that's what they see on Google, or that's what some of their friends give them as a referral. Because we all know that if you want to go through the normal process, it may also take some time, and some of them are just here for 2 weeks. I ever saw one time, some of my friends will recognize him or identify him. We met him when I was going out in the office. I met him in the morning, and then the next night I saw him with another lady. I asked, hey, how's it going, everything? He said, oh, this is my new girlfriend. Where did you meet her? He met her in one street in Makati, and he was already going to look her parents and planning to fly out of the country with her. Well, I don't put any judgment on the ladies that he found out, but what if tomorrow things doesn't work? And personally, he told me where he found that girl. It was, I mean, she was working for money, right? And she told him that even at first. That's what he even started talking to her. Some of them even come here, they have a lot of cash, right? Because they know that they're going to try to, you know, bargain and try to buy some girl like that. But do not expect to have something serious from this type of relationship, and you cannot start stigmatize the whole, you know, people because of that. Because I also know a lot of people in relationship with some Asian women here that are perfectly okay, married with a lot of kids, doing super great. And all type of foreigner, not specifically, I don't know, Western or Asian or African. I know a lot. I even got some in my channel here who testify that they were married with kids, right? So these are also those type of cliche that I'm seeing a lot of my friends, they are so afraid. No, you know, I hear that this girl are like that. I heard that this girl in this country are like that. No, everybody has his own experience. Everybody know how you proceed to find his girl. His bad experience cannot be your bad experience. You just have to follow your proper path, do your things in the right way, and yeah, now at the end of the day, you can be lucky, you cannot be lucky, but you cannot just decide that things are not going to go right for you because some people beside you had some bad experience. Maybe what was the condition for them to have that bad experience? Maybe they just got a lot of negative condition and the result was a bad experience. So maybe if you prepare different condition, your experience can be good as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. If you decide to do something, you decide to take an initiative for your own sake or your life or things like that, it's good to hear what people said, just have it in the note somewhere, but it should not be the one what people have been said about something that, you know, influence your decision. Take it as an advice, take it in consideration, but do not just essentially rely on it in order for you to take your decision, because at the end of the day you might miss your chance. And like me, if I was listening at everything that was said at first when I was entering the Philippines, there's a lot of things that today I'm not even sure that I will have my wife today with my beautiful kids, because all that is just a continuity of some decision that I didn't want to listen at first when it was said to me. So think about it. You're the one deciding. Take people advice in consideration, but do not take it as an essential, you know, things that's going to influence your decision, or essential things that you're going to have as sole factor in order for you to take your decision. That one said, I still have my croissant here that I'm going to finish. I think I already eat one chocolate. The other one now is plain, because I got one chocolate and one plain croissant. I'll finish that, finish my coffee, and then go home. While waiting, take good care of yourself. Road to the 1K. Hey, come on, let's do it before December. Let's reach the 1K. Any question about Philippines? I don't have any answer, but my community can surely give some answer, tips or stuff like that, story. Just leave it in comments. Ask your question in comments. Even the Filipino community, they'll be glad to give you some answer.